The season hasn't even tipped off yet, and the Sixers are already in trouble. I know when y'all first landed LeBron, y'all had that little smirk on your face, that quiet confidence like you just pulled off something special. Y'all were walking around acting like you'd found the deal of a lifetime. But let's be real, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Y'all think you're getting a good dog here? Ever scrolled through Facebook Marketplace and seen a dog listed for sale where the post says fully trained, doesn't have accidents, up to date on shots, even knows tricks, and the only thing that makes you pause is the price? You're sitting there thinking, with all that effort put into this dog, why would somebody just give it away? And that's usually the moment you realize you got played. That dog's making a mess on your floor by day one. That dog's chewing up your couch before the week is out. And that's exactly what LeBron is already doing to the 76ers. He's already chewing up the couch. Rich Paul just sent VJ Edgecombe a pretty pointed message about the upcoming season. And if I'm a Sixers fan who actually cares about this team's future, I'm nervous. Now look, don't listen to the noise out here. Don't let anybody in your ear about this. Young fella, if you handle this the right way, if you tune out the social media chatter, none of that stuff actually matters, nephew. This next part is wild. Listen to this.
Second most benefactor is VJ Edgecombe. And the reason why I say that is because if he embraces it the right way and don't listen to anybody on the social media channels in terms
you're only averaging 12.5 points this year.
That
yeah,
don't
right,
matter.
Right. Does not matter.
Because points don't necessarily equate to a deal all the time. I think people get that's so confusing.
My God, this is wild, isn't it? Even if he handles it the right way, do you really think he's going to be happy dropping from averaging around 16 points a game as a rookie down to something like 12? LeBron shouldn't be out here treating VJ Edgecombe like he's supposed to settle for being a 12-point scorer on this team. And Rich Paul loves to play that card. The black man is always hating on LeBron. But look at what he's doing to a young black man from the Bahamas. VJ came up in Bimini, raised by a single mother in a small island community, and he grew up so short on resources that he was making basketball hoops out of milk crates, playing barefoot in the yard. His family went years living off a generator because they didn't have steady electricity. And he still worked his way all the way to the NBA, becoming on most nights the team's second option. So let me ask Rich Paul something directly. Do you really think a kid who came up through everything VJ came up through doesn't want that role just as badly as anybody else? VJ Edgecombe is making around $11.5 million a season. Now, that's serious money to regular people like us. But remember, this is the same Rich Paul who once said $200 million isn't a lot of money.
22 making $200 million over the next 4 or 5 years. I got several of those guys, right? And
by the way,
but the reality of it is, I'm constantly telling them that's not a lot of money.
So by that logic, by Rich Paul's own standards, if $200 million isn't a lot of money, then $11.5 million must be basically nothing to him. And let's think about how players actually earn more money in this league: production. So if you're the one telling DJ to take a step back and slow his production down, don't act surprised when that ends up hitting his paycheck too. Go ahead, name me one fifth option on a roster who ever landed a max contract. I'll wait.
Don't listen to anybody on the social media channels.
You think VJ doesn't want to be an all-star? You think VJ doesn't dream about making All-NBA? Maybe he even sees himself as a future MVP. Those aren't just accolades, they're the difference between earning 25% of the salary cap or 30%. That's the Derrick Rose rule. And as an agent, Rich Paul understands this better than anybody. So if I'm VJ's agent, I'm furious right now. The nerve of you and Max Kellerman to get up there and say,
"You're averaging 12.5 points this year."
That
yeah,
don't
right,
matter.
Right. Does not matter.
Because points don't necessarily equate to a deal all the time. I think people get that's so confusing.
The nerve of them to sit there and say points don't matter. So points didn't matter to LeBron James, huh? Oh, but that's different, right? That's a whole different conversation.
If points really don't matter, then why did LeBron spend his entire career chasing 40,000 points and the title of all-time leading scorer? If points don't matter, why did LeBron fight tooth and nail to protect his double-digit scoring streak? He was out there scraping for every single point, doing everything he could not to let that streak snap. And how many fans have flooded my comment section with "LeBron scored 50K, Michael Jordan could never"? The nerve of these same people to turn around and say points don't matter when they're the first ones screaming that he's the greatest scorer the game has ever seen. I genuinely feel for VJ in all of this, because VJ actually said something about LeBron that makes this whole situation even harder to watch.
I'm still a kid, to be honest. Like I said, it's one of my, to be honest, like my favorite player growing up. So one of the reasons I started playing basketball also. So like I said, to get the jersey means a lot to me. But I wanted to win. It'll feel better if we won and I got a jersey.
VJ Edgecombe is a fanboy, plain and simple. Did anyone really expect anything else? He's bought into the hype completely, and that's exactly why we need to keep an eye on this. Because the real question is whether he still feels the same way 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Right now, he has no idea what's actually walking into that locker room. You've seen how open VJ is, how much he says out loud without thinking twice. What he doesn't understand yet is that this kind of pressure thrives on silence, not exposure. I caught what you said in that interview, the moment where you basically called out Tyrese Maxey for keeping something from you. And if you go back to Rich Paul's whiteboard, remember this: Maxey was the only name on it with an asterisk next to it, a star, marked different from everyone else. Now, here's where it gets interesting. We've since learned that LeBron James and Joel Embiid had a direct conversation about Embiid's injury and his injury history. And Maxey? He's been part of Clutch Sports this whole time, training and working out with LeBron every summer, which raises an obvious question. Did he already know, well before it became public, whether LeBron was headed to the 76ers or not? So watch closely, because what VJ says Maxey actually told him when he finally asked him directly might tell you everything you need to know.
You a part of the LeBron pitch at all?
See, I don't know. I ain't know LeBron. I love LeBron, don't get me wrong. I just never, I met him. Obviously, we played against each other. Obviously, that's who I, looked up to when it comes to basketball and stuff like that. That's one of the reasons why I started playing ball when he was in Miami. But I ain't know him. But I keep calling Tyrese, and I was like, are we getting Bron? Are we getting Bron? And Tyrese was like, bro, I don't know. I don't think so. But he knew the whole time, but he ain't want to tell me. That's what I feel. I might be wrong.
But something so serious, you gotta keep it.
Exactly.
Keep it close.
Because you don't want to jinx it all.
The young brother is so blind to it. He doesn't even realize this whole thing is a test. They wanted to see whether VJ could actually keep a secret. You heard what she said. Sometimes you have to hold certain things close, keep them to yourself. Do you understand what keeping this a secret really meant here? From what's being said, LeBron reportedly asked Maxey directly, could VJ be trusted to keep his mouth shut? Because if word got out early, it would have blown up LeBron's entire plan. And we already saw what happens when something leaks too soon. The Miami Heat organization moved fast and came down hard on whoever posted that information. It reportedly cost at least one staff member their job over releasing that video ahead of schedule. Meanwhile, VJ Edgecombe is out here on what basically amounts to his own mini press tour. They're putting him in front of cameras, giving him interview after interview, and really what they're testing is how honest he'll be, how much he's willing to say about LeBron James, and whether he's fully bought into all of it. So when they finally asked him straight up, VJ, how does this change the dynamic of your team now? Listen closely to how he answered.
Excited to do when you have him as a teammate? What is this? How does this change the landscape of your team?
I mean, obviously, it's LeBron. We also got Jaylen Brown that people is forgetting now. That we got, even though we got Bron, it's like we also got an MVP candidate also. Obviously, the landscape of our team is different now. We got 4 All-Stars, hopefully 5 one day, and all us to be, on the floor at the same time, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. But for me, I'm just happy to learn. I'm going to just ask Bron so many questions, to ask JB so many questions. I already asked Reese and Joel a lot of questions. So,
really?
Yeah, they get it.
Are they tired of you?
I know they get it. Joel don't even pick up my phone calls.
Man, LeBron's got some real influence, doesn't he? Did you catch that? I mean, obviously, it's LeBron, but let's keep it 100% real here. He operates like the most powerful figure in the NBA, minus any of the physical stuff. You know what I mean? He can basically decide who gets brought into the fold and who gets left standing outside. If you're on his team, you're either falling in line or you're getting phased out. And look, if you're ever out in the streets and someone tells you to go check something out, take my advice. Don't go check it out. VJ Edgecombe is about to learn a hard lesson. Not everybody is on your side, and not everybody actually wants to see you succeed. Truthfully, there's no one who wants better for you as a man than your own father. But watch, they're going to start treating him like he's just another one of LeBron's kids. They tried that with Kyrie Irving once, and Kyrie shut it down fast, told them straight up, I already have a father. I respect everything LeBron's built, but I've got my own training routine, my own path. I know Kobe personally. I've got his number too. Kyrie was built from a different mold, closer to Kobe's mentality. VJ, I honestly don't know how you're going to hold your own once you're fully immersed in the LeBron James school of thought. You haven't experienced this kind of dynamic before. The passive-aggressive undertones, the way people in his circle can go after you publicly if things go sideways, or what happens when you make a mistake on the court and LeBron throws his hands up, visibly frustrated, making it look like you're the problem, right in front of the world and your own teammates. I genuinely can't wait for this season to kick off. You already know we're going to be covering every bit of it right here on this channel. Make sure you hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe, because that's what actually keeps this channel growing. We know we're making an impact. People are referencing what we're saying without even naming us directly. We know the story is spreading through the sports world. I appreciate every single one of you for riding with me on this. Drop into that comment section and let it rip. Tell me whether you think VJ Edgecombe is going to hold his own under LeBron James's influence. And while you're down there, do you think Rich Paul is quietly sending VJ a warning? Let me know what you think in the comments.